And I was like, fuck, he can do that. Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God, he can do that. Like, I remember just being blown away, like, holy shit, he can do that. Um, and so he completely blows this Sunder attempt out of the water. And I remember I was like, yeah, and I'll just figure something out for Kal at the start. I never did, and this session was the moment, like prepping for this session was the moment where I went, oh my God, I have nothing.
Ooh.
uh, yeah.
Oopsie daisies.
And so I just, and also, I knew the way the campaign was going, and the fact that I just completely run out of inspiration, essentially. I knew the campaign had to end soon. All the players say they enjoyed it. Well,
Hmm.
But they're lying to me.
but
I
they're
know that
lying
they're
to me.
lying to
I know it.
me.
Imposter syndrome.
Yes, yes. Hello, hello, and welcome to A Slight Chance of Adventure, a Pathfinder First Edition campaign diary podcast. My name is Tyler, and I was the DM of this campaign. And with me, I have two of my players, Gavin
Hello, I'm Gavin. I played Shanla, the human oracle.
and Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I played Orcus, the Hobgoblin Slayer.
There were two other players, Elika, the half-elf druid, and Pyrrhus, the catfolk blood rager. Last time, the party went to the city of Rantai on the island of Tuval and started a workers' revolution, mostly as a distraction, so that they could fight and defeat, as they did, the fleet master, allowing Orcus's dad to betray and overthrow the chief and take control of Rantai. Um, After that, the party spent a bit of time. They spent a bit of time traveling around talking to various important people. And we left off as they were going over to Mount Kapow to talk to some followers of Arcturus, and that's where we pick up. So yeah, we pick up. You guys have are on Kalau, and you're going to the Mount Kapow, as it was named. Um,
Yep.
yep. Uh, Apparently, uh, Elika rejoins the party at the start of the session, and you guys set off. Forget exactly what she
Mm-hmm.
was doing. You get to the camp of followers of Arcturus at the base of Kapow. They're referred to as Green Seekers because there's like you've met some Green Seekers on Wanatuma, but there's also like a group of them on Kalau.
That's such a good, hippie band name.
Yeah, yeah.
Green Seekers.
So you meet with the two leaders, the one from Wanatuma and the one from Kalau. I don't think you met the one on Kalau. Sarla and Aruth. Aruth is the one on Kalau. Um,
Hmm.
Apparently, you talk about the shards of creation and the destruction on the islands. Oh yeah, I don't think it's ever been stated, but like the thing that the shards of creation came from was like when a new island formed, that like creation energy got like concentrated in some spots in like the process of the island forming and would get left behind. Like there'd be like you'd be able to just find shards among scattered about the islands, rarely. And so like the newer islands had more of them.
Which means there's a limited amount.
Yes, there was a limited amount. Um, and speaking of shard of creation, they give you guys one, and they also are like, "Hey, there's this weird shit going on down underneath Mount Kapow. Why don't you guys go check it out?" Do you guys remember this? No,
No.
Not
no, not at
really.
all. Yeah, okay. Well, when I was like, coming up with the premise for the campaign, I kind of like divided the problems up based on the island. So I knew like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff to do on one and two at the start, and so I had like that really figured out. And then I kind of had a vague sense of the problems and things you would deal with in Rantai, but I hadn't like worked out the specifics. So when I got to it, I kind of had something to go off of. And I remember I was like, yeah, and I'll just figure something out for Kal at the start. I never did, and this session was the moment, like prepping for this session was the moment where I went, oh my God, I have nothing.
Ooh.
uh, yeah.
Oopsie daisies.
And so I just, and also, I knew the way the campaign was going, and the fact that I just completely run out of inspiration, essentially, I knew the campaign had to end soon. But I had a problem. You guys were level 5. I'd promised you guys you'd get to level 7, and I had no content. So I needed to get you guys to
Mm.
level up like twice, or no, I think you guys had leveled up recently, but I needed justification for you to level up again really quickly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so this session was my attempt to solve that, mixed in with a bit of panic. So yeah, they're
Hmm.
like, "Hey, there's this weird stuff going on under the island. Check going on under the mountain. Go check it out." And we think it has to do with fire. So here's some resist energy potions. Does this jog your memory now?
Ah, that I do remember.
Yeah. Do you remember now what happens, Tom?
I remember we go down the mountain, but I specifically remember at one point we needed like indoor elements or whatever.
It's resist energy, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
because there were um just cave dwelling creatures. They were actually just reskinned yetis. In terms of
Hmm.
stats, with cold energy swapped out for swapped to fire, and you guys truly and completely destroyed this encounter. And I remember I was really worried. I was like really afraid. But then I also, because I had like buffed up the yetis, the cave yetis, with a bunch of like more fire damage. But then I gave you guys resist fire potions, and
Yeah.
and I- and for some reason I was like surprised Pikachu face when you guys destroyed the encounter and like took no damage. Um,
Yeah.
the two contributing big are that there really is three things that did that I remember. It was like one, the resist energy. Two, Sean like got some big compel hostilities to like take out the big things, biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
also, we found out at this point that Elika's player had been completely building the cat wrong, like had just forgotten to add a lot of bonuses, building Leon wrong.
Oh yeah.
And so we just did
Yep.
that. So he like tripled in power, which changed. So yeah, this encounter got destroyed, and I was surprised by it, but shouldn't have been.
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff changed very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys had recently leveled up, so there was a lot of things. It just still caught me because I remember I was like, oh no, this maybe I'm going a little too hard on them. This happens so often. I'm like, oh no, maybe this is going a little too hard, and then you guys just destroy the cat. They're like, oh okay, well, silly me. um,
And then sometimes we just fail at everything.
yeah, yeah.
It's weird.
You kill all these. All of a sudden, the creatures were clearly worshipping Apollyon in front of a huge wall of fire, and as I note here, completely destroy the creatures in combat. Um, and then you guys see like this wall of flame. There's like a struggle going on within it, and then this struggle stops when Furious notices what seems to be an eye of a great beast staring at them from the flames. And he reaches in, and a passage of flame opens up, and the party follows Furious in. You remember this? This was
Yeah, I do kind of remember it
I'll
happening.
be honest, I don't remember this at all.
really, yeah. That
Ah.
that's actually not surprising to me because it was just kind of half-assed. Like, oh shit, I this was how I leveled you guys up. You got like infused with Arcturus energy, and I was like, and you guys level up. Woo. Um,
Hmm.
Do 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 do.
so they follow him. You reach a room completely full of flames, and the party is overtaken by the flames, and see a vague vision of how the destruction began, and a brief vision of the location of the new island. So like, ooh, like a, yeah, it's like a glowing spot in your mind's eye.
I remember that.
Mm.
Super cool. Yeah.
As the flame vision ends, the party find themselves above ground, a little ways from the camp of the followers of Arcturus. They return to camp and tell Sarla of what happened, but not the location of the new island. You guys kept that to yourselves for a bit.
Hmm.
And then Ilika speaks to Sarla a little bit about Arcturus. You travel to Bokdal, town of Bokdal, and sleep there. Then you travel back to Kalaloi, round up your crew for your ship, and head to the location of the new island.
Yep.
Ah, yeah.
You tell the crew that you're like, oh yeah, we're just checking out some like underwater ruins we heard about. You know, don't worry. And you arrive at about the location, and Elka goes and searches underwater, like turning into a shark or something. Go searching underwater, She finds a large, opaque crystalline dome with some light shining from within it. And she chips a small piece of the dome off and returns to the group. Bravo like bites it, I think.
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and you guys spend some time discussing what to do with the information you have, and you decide again not to share it with anyone. Then you return to Calaloy and sleep on the ship. 1 month and 1 week had passed since the start of the campaign. And let me.
Honestly,
Mm,
I bet we could have made some pretty good bank selling the information
yeah,
out, but we're just like, nah.
yeah,
Shit might go bad if we tell anybody.
yeah. You do share it eventually. I think in the next session, but you use it as like a bargaining chip for a little bit, I think, or something.
Hmm.
Anyway, and we pick up at the next session. So yeah, the main thing that's happening in this session is there's a big meeting. All the leaders are finally meeting, and there's a bunch of stuff that's happened, so they're all getting together on Kalau to like, okay, what do we do about this whole destruction thing and the cult?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Big role play time.
yeah,
And there's like a few people from like other places too, right? Other than the island
you
that come in.
you mean like from other continents?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple, particularly of from Astoria. Um, like
Mm-hmm.
I think Priscilla is a representative of Barhara. Um, Chavez, who you met a couple times, is from Mr. R. And there was an Alathus representative, though I don't think you talked to him much. But yeah. So at the start of this session, Theris plays banjo and makes some money on the streets. He's like wandering around the street,
Yeah.
strumming banjo. Yeah. Um, Elika and Shanla go to the musical mistress. It's like a tavern. Elika buys a special drink that makes her see everything as positive, and then runs off with three other elves for a while. It's another new drug.
Oh, Elika.
Oh, Elika. Well, I do this sometimes in my notes. The meeting plays out as expected. They say they know where the new island will be forming, and you also guys also learn where Ibris starved himself. Now, there's a whole sequence of things that happened at this meeting, but because I'd like written the whole sequence out before in my notes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't put that in my notes here, so I can scroll back up and read that out.
But I remember saying that like we know where the island is, but it is not currently for sale,
Right.
and people being disappointed about that.
Right. They asked if they could buy the information or something like that, right?
Yeah,
And you were
We
very
took the moral high ground.
for now.
yes. So yeah, a summary of the meeting I prepared beforehand because oh yeah, I've talked before about like how stressful and annoying it is to have meetings with a bunch of different NPCs. Like, do you roleplay all
Yeah.
of them, or do you have the NPCs just talk to each other? And so instead, I plan to just like summarize the meeting at you guys and be like, "This is kind of what happened." There you go, and then give you guys a chance to respond, just like to the vague events, which I think is a better way to handle things like this than like role playing every individual NPC.
For the whole 10-minute conversation.
But it would have been so much fun to hear you do like 10 different voices.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, I am not Matthew Mercer.
Yeah. How could you be?
Gah.
It's not my style, really. Um, so anyway, the events of the forces is opens up, asked why he's freed the slaves, and he explains it's only natural to exchange a less valuable resource for a more valuable one, and they would get in the way of his future plans.
Mm-hmm.
So forces being forces. There is apparently
Capitalism.
there is a slightly hostile exchange between Eris and Druin. I think Eris, let me check my notes, is somebody from Calo.
Probably bought slaves or something.
No, I think, let me check. He's the head of military. He's the head of military um on Calo. And so they're like he's probably like, "Hey, why is this pirate in here?" And Druin's like, "Oh, why is this
Mm,
slaver sympathizer here?" kind of thing, But
yeah.
just don't like each other. Because the people of Calo do make did get some benefits from the slave trade. Anyway, apparently broken up by Tuzma. Um, Priscilla introduces herself here. Oh, and then an event that I remember I kind of screwed up a lot. The messenger.
I,
What? Oh, you remember?
yeah, I think I remember this.
Go ahead.
But wait, I might be thinking of something different. You describe it.
The messenger, who'd been a like person you'd heard about working for the cult for a while, was revealed.
Hmm.
Or sorry, no. The traitor was discovered, who was named Trig Markal, who was a guy you actually met way earlier in the campaign at the first meeting. He was a gnome.
Hmm.
He'd been a traitor. He'd been selling information to the cult, and once he's discovered, the messenger shows up and kills him. And he just like teleports in, stabs him, teleports out. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What do you
Yep.
remember of this, Gavin?
I remember there was some confusion about like how quickly he could get in and out and
Yeah.
teleport. And yeah, because I remember I was like, how did could I try to grab him or anything like,
Mm-hmm.
but
And
that guy needed to die and the messenger needed to get away.
yeah, I kind of railroaded it a little. If there's ever a time I could be accused of railroading, this is it. Because I really didn't want you guys to catch him and get because it would screw up everything. Um, and so like I had him show up, and they're like, "Oh, can I do this?" I was like, "Fuck, he can do that. I need to have him not do that, or else he catches him." And so I said
Yeah,
some kind of bullshit like, "Oh no, he casted that before, so you don't have a chance." Or yeah, it was kind of bullshit, but I yeah
Gotta do what you gotta do.
should have thought it
it
out a
was
little better.
fine.
Yeah, yeah,
He needed to get away,
yeah. So at that point, everybody realized, oh well, a new head of trade needs to be chosen because Trig is dead.
Someone who won't betray us this time.
Most sympathetic capitalists.
Yeah. Um.
Oh
And,
no, the economy.
oh no, the stocks will go down if we don't pick a new head of market,
Trade.
head of trade. So anyway, after this, Forces explains a little bit more about what he's learned. I'm sure it's just like, oh yeah, this and that and this. They do this. The cult is doing that. Whatever. And also, it's like decided who will be going to Astoria to essentially petition them for aid. Because currently, the timeline for how the destruction is going to play out, there's enough time for a trip there and back, um, in time for everybody to evacuate. And so there is not enough shifts in the archipelago, Wakatava archipelago, to evacuate everybody. So they need to go to Astoria, get somebody rich to give them a bunch of ships, and come back. And that's what the
Hmm.
main thing that's being figured out is who's going to do that. Um, and so it's decided that Tuzma, Priscilla, Chavez, and Arla, and any of the players, and anyone the players think should go, will be going on the trip. Um,
Forces.
Arla was somebody, yeah. Arla was somebody connected to Forces, I think.
Yeah, because he's the big trade guy.
No, well, Forces is like Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
And then Priscilla and Joso think they'll be able to get support for the archipelago. Arla has contacts in day. Okay, yeah, that's whatever. And then the party is tasked with finding the location of the next island, which you'd already done. Oh, because I think why did I have that note? It didn't happen lesson. I don't know why I have that.
I I think
Hmm.
this is the point where they might ask us to go do it.
Yeah, I'm just
And then
confused
we're
as to why.
like, ha, you dinguses, we already know where that it is.
Right, because I guess this was me preempting, like, oh, the meeting is going to ask the party that, not knowing the party already has it. So that this was me, like, writing in character for the party, not. Because I was like, I should have known they'd already found the party, because that was last session. Or I found the island. And yeah, you
Yeah.
did, but okay, I see. Yeah, and so you guys would
And then
this
we
is where.
told them, we know, but you're not gonna know until later.
Yeah, yeah.
Why no, not in crisis?
Yeah. And then something else, also, I forget how it came out, but you guys found out that Ibris had starved himself to death. Um,
And we're all sad about that.
you were all a little sad about it. um, and the trip is set to take off in 1 week. And the party decides they want to investigate the first island where the cult is. And that doesn't happen, but you guys wanted to do it. uh,
We should get around to that. Maybe we had time.
I think I don't think you guys, like players, realized that I was planning to end the campaign like next session. um, and so you're like, oh yeah, we'll go on that trip. We'll come back. We'll check out the first island. It'll all be cool. um,
Instead, we probably maybe could have checked out the first island and knock on a trip ourselves, but
no, it was important that you go on the trip. For
yeah.
my reasons. Because again, I was running out of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Or out of ideas. So yeah, Elika flies to Tuval to ask Forces what he knows about the island. Oh, so this is you guys trying to figure out more about the first island. Um, while the rest of you, so yeah, she goes and talks to Forces, while the rest of you sail to Maleku to see if you can find anyone willing to travel to the first island, because your current crew is like, fuck that. There, because the first island is known for being real scary.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Ooh. No wonder we wanted to go.
yeah. They don't find anyone willing, and Elika learns of some of the possible dangers around the island are Sahagin, treacherous rocks, and bad weather, and also a cult. Um,
Yeah.
No wonder we wanted to go.
yeah. Um, and that night, Shanla has a vision. Do you remember this vision, Gavin?
No. I don't think so. No, the one I'm thinking about happens way earlier in the campaign, so no, I
Mm,
don't
no.
remember what this particular one is.
This one.
Oh no! Oh,
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 oh, oh.
oh! Is this the? This is the one where I learned that Elika's mother was a follower of Apollyon, and the one that we saw the vision of
Yes,
having
you learn.
having collapsed on the bill. Yeah.
Yeah. You learn that Elika's mom is the leader of the cult. And yeah, the way this happens is you see like a clashing of two, like clearly a representations of Apollyon and Arcturus, clashing of two forces, blah blah blah. Um, and you're just watching that, and then it gets interrupted with the voice. Oh, now this is interesting. You must be one of those annoyances. And then it ends with, "Tell my daughter I say hello." And so this is very clearly like somehow she got into your vision, and or it's like having the same
Mm-hmm.
vision or something, and connected, and was like, "Oh, say hi to my daughter," very ominously. Um,
Yeah.
and
Evil.
this is the only time, Gavin, I think you actually like took the information you got from your vision to the rest of the party. Every other time, you kind of just kept it to yourself.
I
Maybe
took it to Elika
yeah,
first.
you took it specifically. You brought Elika aside. Uh,
Hmm.
let me. Shanla waits until Elika arrives on Maleku and then explains to her what she saw in her vision. So I remember you like took her aside like a little ways into the forest and like explained things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting role play moment. I remember. And so the group returns to Callow after deciding to investigate the first island after the trip. So again, you guys didn't quite realize the campaign was about to end.
Yeah.
uh,
We did not know.
We were so young then.
yes, yeah. Um, Elika sells some elf grass and oil she made, and Elika tells Tuzma about Shanla's vision, which is, I'm sure, a revelation to Tuzma. Um, and the group stays on Callow until the day of the trip, which is where the session ends. 1 month, 2 weeks, and 3 days have passed, and we go into the next session, which is the last session. Um, but yeah, before we get into the last session, the very last one, there's something I wanted to like just talk about. An interesting like phenomena experience you have as a DM, where like you like plan out the campaign. You know like the grand plan, right? You know
Hmm.
how you know like oh, there's this moving part. Like I had the whole dynamics of like what the cult was trying to do, how they were accomplishing it. They had like Iberus collecting things. They had a trader on Callow. They were getting the crystals to the wizard and on um, Rantai, and he was making the things, and then they were filling them with void energy, and they were, and then the wizard was implanting them in void beasts, and those void beasts were intended as like a distraction and thing, so that a ritual could be done to completely destroy the islands and let no one escape. Right? That was the big plan. But and no, but
Hmm.
like, and I know that the whole time. But it's always strange. Like sometimes the players go through the whole campaign and they have no idea about any of that the whole time. Almost. Um, it's 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 a strange
Yeah.
experience having all of that and then just little bits and just like having no idea or feeling like how much are the players picking up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, we weren't.
Hmm.
We didn't exactly know much of the like wizard's role and everything
Right, right.
until like near the end or the end.
Hmm.
Like, I don't think we knew about the ritual, like, at all,
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Right. That's like the whole goal of
Until
the.
the ritual happened.
Well, the ritual didn't happen. That wasn't the ritual that you're about to see. That was them trying to stop escapees. Things had gone very wrong for the cult at that point. Um,
Mm.
um, that was just like that was some justifications to have the campaign end. um, but it's exactly like that. Like you guys didn't know, like oh the cult's trying to do some big ritual, which is partially like I think that's partially like a skill for a DM to like get the party to follow along and uncover those things and be aware. But also it's like
Yeah.
um takes like I don't know interest from the players. You know, yeah, it's just a thing that happens. Yes. So before the pick up in the last session, and Fierce plays banjo successfully at the Ducks. Oh yeah, there's kind of like a going away moment with you guys where you're like all saying goodbye to your favorite NPC. So I think last session you didn't know, but this session I had told you guys like, hey, this is probably going to be the last one. Um,
Yeah.
Mm.
so Shanla speaks with Mela, Elika speaks with Mira, and Orcus asks Elu to go on a date with him after the trip. Do you remember who Elu is?
Yeah, it's one of our crew members that was a hobgoblin. Specifically, I remember he snuck off and they wanted to tell him, was like, nah, I snuck away.
Oh, right, right. The party was like trying to snoop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Us, Snoop. How dare you?
Invade Orcus's privacy? Never.
mm, um, but yeah, I remember when I first read this, I was like, who the fuck is Elu? And I had to go through my notes, and that's where I found where I'd written all the crew names. Um, so after traveling for about an hour on the ships as they leave for Astoria, the ship encounter a large force of Sahagin and a large tornado headed towards them. Do you two remember this moment?
Yeah.
um, they were just like, oh fuck, that tornado is probably not natural.
So the most of the people on the ships are okay. Well, we'll deal with this Sahagin. We need you guys to go off and deal with that tornado because that's not normal. Um, so you guys have fly cast
Mm.
on you, um,
Yep.
and the party heads to confront the forces of Apollyon inside the Twister, etc. And
Oh yeah.
yes,
Big, dramatic.
as you guys fly, the staff of creation wielded by Elika becomes empowered by Arcturus's like I remember like from the direction of the island, like a beam of light hit and it was like hitting the staff and like making it shine. Um, and so what this meant is Elika throughout the combat could just do all of the staff of creation things the whole time. Which meant we had like two, which she could do like big heals as a swift action. So you guys were constantly getting much big heals. And this
Yep.
is like a
Mm-hmm.
little trick of mine. This is one of the kind of the first instance of it that I like to do sometimes for big fights. Um, I don't know if I'll spoil the magic for you guys a little bit by explaining this, but it's like you
Mm.
power up the party in some way during a big fight, and so like that allows you to like throw something way harder than they fought before. Um,
Yeah.
for like that, so it feels like a big jump in power. It makes it feel more epic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I think it usually works. I've done it a couple different times.
It's a
Mhm.
great
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah, it's a great trick. Um, I remember like during this combat, I described it as like both Elika and Shanla were like lighting up like beacons of light because they were just you were just pumping healing into Ferris and Orcus. Um,
Yep. I
Yep.
remember that. I remember because Shanla, we
mhm.
just hit level 7,
Right,
so Shanla got an ability where if someone was missing in the party was missing 5 or more health,
right,
um, on her turn, she would take that 5 damage from them and
right,
heal them for that. And so she was taking like 20 damage a turn
right.
from just her own ability.
So you spent like most of the time like yeah, everybody pretty much the whole party had fast healing 5 because of that, and you were just constantly healing yourself up and also getting heals from Elika, who could again
Yep.
heal as a swift action. So it was like we fully embraced the heal bot playstyle of this party.
Yeah.
um,
Yep. My HP moved that day.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember there was like I think it was like we counted like 3 or 4 times Elika or Shanla went from like 0 to 100 almost. Um,
Yep.
And then back to 0, and then back to 100, and then back
but
to
yeah, down, up, down, up, down, up.
yeah, like a Geiger counter basically.
And so inside the tornado, you fight the Void Monster, controlled by Yonera
Hmm.
and all and her children. Um, you know, yeah, the last name and all, that wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
That was not intentional.
How was it not?
Because I came up with Tuzma's name first, and I was like, oh, Tuzma and all, that sounds nice. And then I realized, oh, and all like after like the campaign had gone for a little bit, I realized that, and I was like, well, I guess it's cool.
Oh yeah. This fight was like really crazy.
Mhm, mhm.
I remember the battle map that you made for it. You basically almost like made the whole well, you made like the outline of the twister, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it had the giant void monster at the center of it.
Yeah, it was
But
like huge size, and it was pretty much like the whole battle map was
yes,
treated as if it was like centered on the monster because one of the powers this monster was like uber empowered with like if you guys were like empowered with Arcturus energy, the monster was like empowered with um uh,
Apollyon.
upon it was like a representation of the struggle. So it's like you were both getting powered up. Both sides were getting powered up by the various god powers
yeah.
present within the
Uh,
archipelago. Also, well,
it's
I'll let you go in a second, Gavin. The
okay.
staff wielded by Yonora was like a staff of creation, but like corrupted to be a staff of destruction. What
Mm-hmm.
were you
Um,
saying?
an important fact to know about this, folks, is that Tyler had built all this in Minecraft.
Yeah, we mentioned before, but yeah, we do all our battle
Yes,
maps in Minecraft.
yeah, we all play this game in Minecraft. So this tornado was a Minecraft built structure around this huge size creature. So like we can't have the creature move itself. So
Mm.
whenever the creature itself moved, we had to move all the minis
Is that
of
how
like
we handled
everybody
it?
else.
That was
Yes.
how we handled it.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
remember that.
god. Right. I probably told you like this. Okay, I'll shift it down that much. Unless I think I had most of the enemies riding on its back, so I could just be like, yeah, they move with it. And if
No,
you
they
guys,
had their own rides, I think.
one of the yeah, one of the so the other there was Yonora who was definitely riding the creature, but then there was her 2 children who were technically also
Yeah.
um Elika's siblings. Um, and
Oof.
the fifth child was a war priest of Apollyon, obviously. And I this was when I really realized,
Yep.
oh my god, war priest's so cool, big buff. So this
Mm-hmm.
guy was just like buffing
Yeah.
himself to the
War
Scott.
priests are mixed scary.
Yeah, and the other one was
That's what
a
made my wolf priest essentially jump in power. Was like, oh, that's how you're supposed to do it.
right.
Yeah.
Um, well, we hadn't started campaign 2 yet, but yes.
No, I thought we had.
I don't know. I think we started it after. It was campaign 3 we
Yeah,
started
no.
during campaign 2, but I think campaign 2 was fully
Yeah.
after this one.
I could have sworn
I
campaign
think
2 had started already.
I may have used this guy as an example of how you like. I was like, hey, remember that guy and how he buffed himself up? Do that. Maybe was how.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then the sixth child was a hunter, which is like the animal companion focused, and I just built them entirely to buff up their animal companion. So it was like this. Rock, which is like a big eagle, um, that had been
Mm,
like that was just like super powerful animal. So yeah, those are
yeah.
the big void monster Yonara, who was a 10th level cleric, and then the two children, Hunter and War Priest, which of course would normally absolutely stomp a level 7 party, but you guys had uber healing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you two wanted to
I
say?
remember
Oh yeah, good.
I remember we had commented afterwards that like theoretic like we could have used the Staff of Creation a lot better than we did.
Right, right.
But like we won anyways,
Yeah,
so
it was very overpowered. So just using it just consistently using it was enough to yeah.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Um, so the also one other thing. So I've implied like essentially the way the cult worked is they were like established on the island, but also like Yonara would like occasionally take and have like a half elf kid, and they would become like one of the more important members of the cult, which is like gross and weird and very culty. So it works.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason Elika wasn't there is because like her dad had gotten like ended up there, but then escaped with her and got her off to the Maja Grove to like hide her away. And he died.
Mm,
That was like how Elika, the explanation for how Elika was her child but wasn't in the cult. So anyway, the events of the
smart.
part, the fight. Elika is briefly killed and brought back by the staff. That's the first event of the fight.
Yep.
Um, and then it goes back and forth. I remember this was like one of the few times Orcus actually used fainting, which is supposed to be his build.
Yeah.
And you also made very good use of your oh yeah Orcus. So yeah, because I remember I don't know if we talked about it. Tom, your build was like supposed to be a feint build, but every level you'd be like, "Oh, look at that, that's neat," and take that instead of like the feint progress in the build. um,
Listen, first
I know,
time
I know.
making a character.
I just remember me,
Okay.
like from my perspective, I like when I was learning how to build stuff and like helping you guys out, be like, okay, Tom, this is how you do that and that and that. And we were like, okay, yeah, cool, that'll work great. And then you'd level up and do something different. I'd be like, Tom, we talked. I just felt, yeah,
Talked. I forgot.
yeah, I know. Um,
Yeah. Well, I was like the only player with like a big amount of experience playing this game. So my build was very like, I know what I'm doing. I'm immortal.
yeah, yeah.
But
So anyway, the fight goes on. I'm sure events. I note down who kills who though. Furious kills the War Priest while on top of the Void Beast, which I'm sure is very cool. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. Elika kills the Hunter's Eagle with a stone discus, and then Furious kills the Hunter. And then everyone but Furious. Oh, this was the potentially also the coolest moment of the campaign. I'm sure you two remember it. I'll
Mm-hmm.
describe
yep.
it though. So everybody but Fierce flees due to command. So like a mass Yonora did like a command spell that's like everybody leave, everybody move away, and Fierce is the only one who made the check to not fail to it. And I remember you guys were like, "Oh fuck," um, but Fierce's player catches everyone off guard, including me. I hadn't thought of this as an option, but he's like, "I sunder the staff." The
Mm.
staff that Yoner was carrying that was like uber powered up with like destruction energy. And I was like, fuck, he can do that. Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god, he can do that. Like I remember just being blown away, like, holy shit, he can do that. Um and so he completely blows the Sunder attempt out of the water, just breaks the staff in two, and as established with destruction energy, it blows up. um
Yep.
blowing up, completely killing Yonara instantly. I had like last words for her planned. I didn't get to do those. uh,
Oh no.
no. She didn't blow it, and it also kills him. But we like figured out the movement and like rounds, and there was Elko was able to get back just in time to cast breath of life and revive Fierce. And he like we record. I remember I described it as if like he was like blown to tatters and it just got stitched back together midair. Um, um, yeah, I say Elka revives Furious just in time, And then Orcus decapitates the void monster, finishing the battle. Um,
Yep.
Yep.
that's where the campaign itself ended. 1 month, 2 weeks, and 4 days have passed. Um, there's a little bit of discussion we had about what happens to the characters after. We can get to that in a moment. But first, thoughts, opinions about the fight, or anything?
I thought it was
How about
a. Go ahead, Tom.
the fight was incredibly stressful the whole time, I remember.
Oh yeah,
Because for me, all I could really do was try not to provoke attacks of opportunity constantly.
was that you were like right next to the void beast, and it had
Yeah.
like a massive
And
reach.
attack.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And do what I can, hope I hit,
Hmm.
basically.
I know you used like your bounty hunter archetype to like apply debuffs a fair bit during this, um, and
Yeah.
which was very it like shut down the war priest, I think mostly. Um,
I do remember I was trying to like inch closer to the dragon or the giant void beast, like bit by bit,
right,
so I
five
could
foot
like.
5 foot fly by 5 foot fly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying. I was trying to like see if I can get the final hit on it with like
Right.
a with a cure wounds because like they take positive energy damage
Yeah,
as
yeah.
like damage,
Hmm.
but or Orcus got it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I remember the explanation for what this void beast was like a bunch of different, like a wyvern plus other animals like stitched onto it by the wizard,
yeah.
and then like empowered with the big void bead. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where that came from, and then the Apollyon energy empowered it. Um,
Hmm.
Stat block wise, what was it?
it it had I know it was like the way I built it was I looked at like a bunch of different creatures of its CR from from like I think it was like CR 10 maybe I think. Um, and I like I took various bits, so I know I used like a T Rex's bite for it. um,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
and
jeez.
and then I probably used some wyvern stats in there. And I kind of just like okay, that's a good stat for a creature of that level for there. Da, 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 da. Um, yeah, it. Wait, no. Also, I just recalled. I think it was actually Orcus was doing a lot of his sneak attack stuff to the beast itself to keep it from absolutely destroying everyone. I think that was actually Orcus's role most of the fight. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe, yeah. Could have been it.
So yeah, we can. And one thing I do at the end of the campaign, all of my campaigns, is I like get thoughts from everybody. Like, oh, thoughts. What did you like? What did you dislike? I didn't note them here, and I also figure out okay what happens with the character afterwards, so we can go through that. Um, Final thoughts
Yeah.
from Orcus Tom. The character spends time working with his father until he reaches the far south continent, later named Obiguara by me, um, where he meets his mother. And after that, he goes away on his own and wanders that continent and Avasarya, helping where he can. So he kind of just becomes a drifter wanderer. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? Um,
Yeah, I do remember that.
do you have any thoughts on like Orcus, the campaign as a whole, looking back? Um,
Looking back, it's like because it's been like so long,
mm,
it's all of it I remember was fun. There were some frustrating moments between players and characters, but that happens. It was our first time we were new. And all in all, it was a good introduction. It was a good campaign. It was a fun character to play. Notably, it wasn't me. Was a big part of it. Honestly, it was.
oh,
He was a different guy than I am. There's obviously parts of me. That's how characters get made, I find.
mm. Right. Apparently you so the thing something you liked combat. You said you quite enjoyed combat. Um
Yeah.
and,
Sneak attack was fun to figure out and stuff.
yeah. And you also said you liked feeling like your character had a personal connection to the things going on in the game. So like Orcus and his dad kind of thing, I think was like
Yeah.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
then things you disliked, no comment. It's apparently 10 out of 10. Damn. Um
I think it was I didn't have any like anything to compare it to
yeah, yeah.
yet.
Fierce retires and spends his time playing banjo on the ship. I think we also discussed he like the ship eventually gets like pulled onto shore and becomes like mounted on top of a bar, like coming out the front or something, and it's
Yep. And
like
Furious is still there to this
yeah.
day playing banjo.
Oh,
In spirit.
also, I completely forgot to note. We got to talking about Elu when you guys were like saying your goodbyes. Furious gave his banjo to Mulyo, his like admirer, before heading off on the trip.
Ah.
Um, yeah, and then Fierce's player liked combat and recurring characters, which I have to say, in future campaigns, I am not good at having recurring characters. There's a lot of
We do a lot of moving around in other campaigns, so it makes sense.
yeah. Um,
Campaign 2 at least had a few.
oh, also, the player disliked, and then I have note. He didn't say this, but he was often left out slash got bored during roleplay. That's just from me. Um,
Well, sometimes you build a barbarian or a fighter, and then people start talking, and you're like, "Well, I'm gonna see how high I can stack my dice."
yeah, yeah.
I do remember that this player, Fierce's
Mm,
player, has actually stacked dice and talked about it while
really,
like after we're done role. I think so.
I do
I
not
think
have.
he's.
I'll trust him. Yeah.
I don't know if it was this campaign or it was another campaign. He's like, yeah, I stacked all my d6s.
Uh, but I should note he has gotten more roleplay, more interested in
Yeah.
doing roleplay as time has on. So he's
Yeah,
been
for sure.
characterized as a combat crazy player, but he does roleplay at times.
It was just what it was in experience and
Yeah,
all that, I
and he
think.
was new, so it just yeah.
Hmm.
Elika, the character, creates an intercontinental druid organization based on the island of Maleku, known as the Maja Druids. Um, I also remember discussing this next thing. She holds on to the Staff of Creation. Barhara wanted to get it from her. She would not give it to Barhara. Um, she starts a family and
Mm,
spends a lot of time wandering the world. Also, fun fact: I think like Elika in my world still like in terms of post campaign character power still like reaches the highest out of any character in any campaign. I think she probably reaches like level 15 just like because she creates a international druid organization. She gets probably pretty powerful and stuff.
mm,
So like,
okay.
Yeah.
and I don't think any character except for maybe arguably like your character in campaign 2, Gavin, and
Mm,
it is the only one who maybe gets kind of close in post campaign power is in the
yeah.
world. The player liked his character's backstory being tied to the story. The player disliked not having clear choices for their character to take an interest in. So this is kind of like their character was he initially came in and wanted to do like a drug empire, and that I think that was like he wasn't able to quite do that. So he kind of
Oh, this is like, yes, I'm a druid, but if you don't pay up your money, I'm gonna break your fucking kneecaps. It's kind of funny.
and then Gavin, Shanla, the character, creates
Yep.
the Yulkin House, a place for runaways, as Wakatupi is a common place for people to run away to, and also acts it
Hmm.
is an extension of the Adventurers Guild on Wakatupi. So you help like essentially create on the new island, create a place
Yeah.
I
like
thought it was a hospital.
it was a lot of it was just kind of it was the house, the Yulkin House.
Yep.
Um, um,
Yeah.
it was a place for people who didn't have anywhere else to go. Um,
Hmm.
he apparently liked combat, and uh,
Everybody likes combat.
as the only player with much previous experience, he said it was much better than PFS, plus Pathfinder
Pathfinder
Society.
Society.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, the player disliked when other players made choices that were clearly mistakes.
Did I say that? That was mean. That's fucked up.
I'm sure that was me paraphrasing. I'm sure, but probably
That's fucked up. That guy who said that.
yeah, man, what a bastard. Um,
Fuck that guy.
yeah. I have some notes.
I will say
Mm,
to that point, it is sometimes when it's like you're an experienced person, it's like
Yeah.
they're making the worst possible
I
decision.
I
Yeah,
But I
I
can't say anything because I'm an
having to
asshole if I
endure that.
say anything about it.
I do remember like sometimes I would try to give advice
Mm,
and I'd be ignored, and that really frustrated me.
Right,
Even
right,
even if it, even if I was wrong.
right, right.
Hmm.
But just being completely ignored, yeah, could be. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah. From
that's fine.
my notes on the campaign, what went well? The campaign was completed. Nice. Very. Scheduling was mostly consistent. I should note the final session actually kind of got interrupted right in the middle. Elika's player had to leave mid fight, and so we had to like
Mm,
freeze everything and then start it again a little bit later. I counted it all as one
oh,
session. Um,
right.
yeah. Uh, all the players say they enjoyed it. Well,
Hmm.
But they're lying to me.
but
I
they're
know that
lying
they're
to me.
lying to
I know it.
me.
Imposter syndrome.
Yes, yes. We'll get to the players bought into the world. Um, drastically improved all the players, other than Gavin, understanding and interest in Pathfinder. Because yeah, so I was like, yeah, good job, everybody learned.
Mhm.
Most things that I wanted to happen in the story did, and the players got a bit better at communication by the end, just a bit in brackets. um, I think I did a good enough job for my first campaign. That's my
Yeah,
thoughts there.
it was really
Uh,
fun.
mhm.
Yeah.
Now, what I did wrong, these will be fun.
Ooh.
Uh, I failed to construct a setting in a way that compelled urgency. So I remember I wanted to like have it feel like there was a ticking clock. This whole campaign, like, oh no, if we don't get things together in time, everything's gonna explode, right?
Yep.
Um, which there technically was, but I just didn't. I just failed to like properly instill that feeling at all, really. Um, I didn't create a compelling final villain. Slash, the introduction was too late. So like, you guys kind of just found out about Yunara a couple sessions, barely heard of her, interacted with her once, and then it was the final fight. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
which I can kind of talk about. Like, endings are so difficult, man. Even getting one is
Hmm.
uncommon in a campaign, and they're so
Yeah.
difficult to get right. I've done finished 5 campaigns so far, and I think only one of them I consider kind of good, and even then I have mixed feelings about. Um,
Which one?
campaign 3, I thought the ending was okay for it, even though that one it left off like a little unsatisfied. I felt like a lot of people were, but otherwise than that, I thought it was pretty good. But the rest,
Well, campaign 2 ended really nicely.
well, we could get into that
Ty.
one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
we shouldn't talk about that now.
We'll talk about the endings of this later, but like,
Yeah.
I think you're too hard on yourself for your endings.
Yeah.
Personally,
Mm.
I think the endings. Oh, like I think you do the endings very well. Just the fact that you're one getting to them, and the fact that they always are like the fight itself that we do at the end. I've never had a like a
Interesting.
not satisfying fight
Oh
at
yeah.
the end,
Right.
and like even at like the story context, the first campaign for example. I'm just gonna talk about the first campaign
Yeah. Yeah.
ending
Go ahead.
because I don't
Yeah.
want to get into the other ones. The
Mm.
first one, it feels epic because we're literally fighting inside of a
Tornado. Yeah. Yeah.
tornado against these giant void beasts. Like, even if we didn't get like
Lead up.
a huge amount of time to interact,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no, yeah, like a lack of a lead up to it, the ending itself is good,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. Yeah. Because I remember I was
Um,
just this ending was not what I had envisioned from the start. It was very much like,
yeah,
ah, shit, I kind of just need to end this, and so that's what left a real bitter taste in my mouth. I remember, was it was kind of just
yeah,
like, and you know, um,
mm,
I think a part of it is why, like, one of the reasons why you might have such an like a low view than like say us for example is that bird's eye view of like
definitely,
because you have the whole story versus we're
mm,
oftentimes in the moment enjoying the whole thing.
yeah. I have like the lofty ambitions and aims for like what it
Yeah.
could be, and you guys are just like, wow, this is neat.
Yeah. Oh
um,
yep.
boy, 2 cakes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Negative comment about the campaign though.
Oh yeah.
We spent the whole time at sea.
Uh
No sea shanties.
no. See, well, Fierce. Maybe he hummed a little, you know?
Yeah, but like no full on sea shanties.
Right, right. I'll have to figure that
You
out.
didn't sing. We didn't hear you sing a single time throughout the
Oh, you
campaign,
needed
and
me to sing. I see. I see.
yes,
Right, right.
Yeah.
yes,
I understand.
Also, we didn't fish enough.
Yeah, there's a little.
true. There's no fishing. There's no fishing mini game.
No fishing minigame. 0 out
We
of
we
10.
did we didn't pet enough dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, other things I thought went wrong or did wrong. I failed to compel the players to engage more deeply with the story. Okay, that's a little up my own ass. I failed to consistently find ways to interest all the players. So this is like getting you guys to do things. I felt like I struggled with. Um, Most
Yeah,
NPCs only functioned as a way to move the story forward and could have used more depth. In retrospect, I think that's wrong. I think I did okay with the NPCs in this campaign, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I
Especially
still,
like Tuzma
yeah,
and
Like, the idea of, like, oh, they're only made to move the plot forward. Like, sure, a lot of them move the plot forward, but that wasn't the point of them.
yeah. I think this was me like still feeling some sadness about everybody hating Priscilla. uh, um,
she's my favorite.
yeah, well, I remember I was so excited about her.
It's my self-insert OC.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I'm
my
sorry, Tyler.
OC that my DMPC insert at the start was really Druin. And which I
Yeah.
yeah, which I did wasn't a problem, but that was very clearly like super cool cat man. Whoa. That was
Oh
clearly
yes.
oh shut up. Um
Not trying to tell us anything, Tyler, that we should know.
which is funny, like
Pirate.
you guys made fun of Druin at the start and then didn't care about Priscilla. So for the two ones I was like, oh, these are gonna be so cool. um
Oh,
You
and
can never make something. You can never try to make something seem cool to your players. They will always make fun of it.
yeah. See, it's my duty as Tyler's best friend to burn everything that he loves.
no, no, apparently. Um, and then the last thing I said that went wrong was multiple NPC discussions. I was still traumatized by that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, didn't do enough of those. We needed more. Tyler talking to himself.
I have some notes about what I learned, but those don't matter because I've talked about what I've learned throughout this whole thing. Um, I have that doesn't matter. I have a little summary about what happens in the world. Wakatupi becomes a central hub through which nearly all activities between Astoria and Avasara pass. A number of different intercontinental organizations spring up around that fact. The Maja Druid order being just one. Wakatupi remains largely neutral. God, the spelling or wording of this. With the largest influence. So Mr. R becomes pretty influential on Wakatupi, and then also Barhara gets a pretty notable involvement.
Damn
Um,
commies.
any slave activity in Wakatupi is largely opposed and mostly eliminated. Um, so yeah, that is that.
Pretty good ending for the campaign
Yeah, yeah.
overall.
Any final thoughts, or do you? Otherwise, I think I'm going to close this out with a little talk.
I, I think that it was a great time,
Cool.
and I'll always. If it's still in my memory is like the start of the great adventure of all the other campaigns that came after it.
Yeah.
It really was a beginning of like a whole new
I think
thing, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I think it can really it is in my mind it worked very well for what I intended it for be. It achieved the purpose it I set out to achieve, which was to learn, right? Because I remember
Mm-hmm.
I think I may have talked about it a little bit in earlier episodes, but the audio was terrible, so I'm going to recap. um the way this campaign started was Gavin, you were like doing yours for a bit. Um
Yep.
and then we kind of hit like a little bit of an ending for like the first adventure you'd set out for us, and you were like, okay, I think I'm going to step back for a little bit, and I think you said, yeah, somebody else could maybe run, and I thought, and I kind of like offhandedly went because I'd been thinking about it, like, oh, maybe I could, um, And then like within the hour, you guys were all like, "Okay, I've got a character idea here. Da, 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 da. So when can you run?" Um, and I was like, when I first said that, I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe like in a month or two, I'll have something put together and we can start to talk." And then and like within the hour of me mentioning that, you guys all had thought up characters. And we were like, "Okay, when are we doing this, Tyler? When are we doing it?" I was like, "Okay, we are doing this." And so I remember at the time I was like, give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks." Um, and so I spent 2 weeks, and the rest is history. But I remember something else notable about this campaign in particular was that like it was probably one of the first times I had done something just like creative, just for me, you know, um,
Hmm.
like just like
Yeah.
I wasn't drawing at this point, I wasn't. So I like did something just creative for me, and it was probably the catalyst that made me realize I wanted to pursue like a creative artistic career. That like it was the thing that made me like, oh, oh my God, I want to do this. So that was yeah.
I remember you telling me that at like 4 a.m. one night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Um,
artistic awakening.
yes, yes. And so and the rest is history. But
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see everybody when we come back for campaign two,
Yeah, boy.
um,
Yeah.
if anybody's there. But for now, goodbye. See you everyone next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye and good campaign.